All right. So once again, welcome everybody. So this is going to be our final first fall session class. So we'll talk about that at the end of the class this morning. But again, we want to welcome everybody to week number 8. It's hard to believe we've been here 8 weeks. Okay, everybody. So once again, we're going to review some things here in this class. So, for example, can anyone remember this expression from last week? Who remembers this one? Turn a what?
Over.
Turn over a new
Leaf.
leaf. Yeah, congratulations. So since we said it was fall, the colors are changing. So are you guys seeing some trees with the colors changing now?
Yes.
Yeah. I was driving around and I saw so the colors are starting to change. So yeah, it's pretty exciting. Well, speaking of expressions, we are going to review those expressions here in just a moment. So again, the idea is we're going to do a little review from our first 8 weeks of class. Then we're going to try a little listening activity. Now, last week we practiced a little bit with some words that can be confusing to students. And so we'll take a few minutes and talk about that activity and what we're going to be doing with it. And then if we have time, we're going to do a little bit more of the review of the future real conditional. So hopefully we'll get a chance to use our paper and pencil for that activity. Okay, guys. So our greetings today is actually going to be the review of our expressions. So in just a moment, I'm going to turn on the poll feature. So some of you remember the poll feature is when the questions will appear on your screen and you will have to answer them on your computer or on your phone. So again, you should be able to see them. Now it says 5 minutes. I've given you a little bit longer, I think 7 minutes actually, to finish this activity. So let me explain real quickly before you begin. So when you see the questions, the first 4 or so questions, you will see a sentence. And you have to choose which one is the correct way to say it using one of our new expressions. Okay? And then the last few questions are just some review of things we talked about at the beginning of the session. Okay, so again, just take a look. So we'll kind of do number 1 as sort of our example. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and turn the poll. We already talked about, so I'm going to tell you my opinion on this. It means I'm going to give you a piece of my mind. Number 2, she wants to start her life over, so she wants to turn over a new leaf. All right, number 3, is it okay if I smoke in here? The answer was, do you mind if I smoke in here? All right, number 4, watch what you say. The answer is mind your tongue. So that means watch your tongue, right? Don't say bad words. Number 5. Now, number 5 is interesting because we talked about this a few weeks ago. But if you ask a lot of Americans, they actually will get it kind of wrong too. But actually, the correct answer was the one that says neither snow nor rain nor heat nor gloom of night. So if you remember, that was, for number 6, that was the expression or the motto of the post office. So hopefully you remember the post office. And then finally, for number 7, I'm sorry if it didn't appear on the screen. I tried to do a short answer question, but it is the dog days of summer. So Lily looks like she put the answer there in the chat box for us. Okay. Well, guys, hopefully we were able to at least answer most of the questions. So, but I apologize if we couldn't see it. The poll thing is kind of new. Yes.
Can you repeat, please, number 5 and number 6? Which answer for number 5?
Yeah, so number 5 is neither snow nor rain nor heat nor gloom of night. So that's the answer you need to choose. Yeah. And the number 6 was the post office.
Office. Thank you so much.
Okay. All right, guys. Well, hopefully we were able to get most of those answers. Again, the poll is kind of a new thing we're trying to use here. Okay, so once again, we mentioned we will need a piece of paper and pencil. So hopefully everyone has a piece of paper and pencil to do this next activity. Now, what we're going to do first this morning is we're going to do a little listening exercise. So last week we learned some words that might be a little confusing for students, and they were confusing for many different ways. Now, what I would like to do first is let's look at each category here, each column. So we have column A and we have column B. Now, if you notice, looking at the choices, some of the answer choices sound the same. For example, let's look at number 1. So everyone, you can practice this again. You don't have to turn on your microphone right now, but if you just want to practice with me, you can just practice there at your computer or phone. So you can just say it. You don't have to turn on your mic, but let's just say it again. Heel. Heel. Okay. All right. Let's try number 2. So notice number 2, though. So someone help us with number 2. Does number 2, A and B sound the same?
Aisle. 2 and 2.
Are you sure? Are you? Do they sound the same?
Aisle.
No, no.
What should we say for A? For 2A, what should we say?
L and ill.
Okay, well, you're close. You're close on 2B. 2B is ill. But what about 2A? Okay.
3. Aisle.
Aisle, yes.
Aisle.
All right. Yeah, so everybody, let's practice that. So 2A is aisle, and 2B is ill.
Ill. Yeah.
Who can tell me what does ill mean?
Sick.
Yeah, sick. Yes. Okay. So what we learned last week is we have these interesting situations. So for example, looking back at number 1, if you might remember, number 1 were words that sound the same but have different meanings. So if you remember, I'm going to type it in the chat box here. These were called homophones. Everyone, let's say that again. Homophones.
Homophones.
Yeah, so remember, homophones are words that sound the same but are different words. Okay? Now, number 2, on the other hand, number 2 kind of looks the same but is not the same. So if you think about number 2 is an example of words that people just, maybe you confuse. So for example, we're confused about the pronunciation. So keep in mind, there are different ways that we can be tricked with pronunciation, right? All right, let's look at number 3. Okay, now look at number 3. Is number 3 a homophone, or is number 3 just confusing? What do you think?
Confusing.
Well, I don't know, Saba. How would you pronounce 3A and 3B?
I think well and wheel.
No.
No.
Wheel.
So what do you think? Do you think, guys, they're the same pronunciation?
No, it's will. It's short. Number 3A, but number 3B is wheel.
I don't think
longer. We
I
pronounce
think
it longer.
Well, let's see. I think maybe we're confusing another word.
Yeah.
For example, I think you're confusing the word well.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, for example, everybody, take a look. Let me pull up the annotation tool. If you notice here, let me see if I can change the color. All right. So, for example, if you notice, there's that one little punctuation mark. Do you see that? Who can remember what does this word mean?
We will.
We will. Yeah, there you go. So in this case, guys, yes, they are confusing, Saba, but the truth is these are examples of homophones. They sound exactly the same.
Yes.
Yeah, so everybody, let's try it. Wheel. Wheel.
Will.
Yeah, yeah. So again, number 1 is a homophone. Number 3 is a homophone. Yeah, so these are situations where they sound the same. Okay, what about number 4? Is number 4 a homophone, or is number 4 just maybe confusing?
Confusing. Not
Yeah.
a homophone.
Yeah, so they're not homophones, but sometimes it's hard for students to hear. So everyone, let's try these 2 words. Let's try them. Yule.
You'll.
Your.
Your.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Good. Okay, and then what about number 5? Is number 5 a homophone, or is number 5 just confusing?
Homophone.
Homophone.
Are you
No,
sure?
confusing.
Confusing. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
For example, do you see that little punctuation mark again?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, so how do I say 5A?
Sure.
Shield. Shield, right?
She
And what does that mean? Shield.
She will.
She will. Okay. And how do I pronounce 5B?
Shell.
Shall.
Shell.
Shell.
Oh.
Shall.
Okay. What is a shell, by the way?
It's how to say that? Something like the os. How to say? I know what's that, but I don't know how to let you understand the English.
Well,
I don't know.
well, for example, can we think of an? Okay, yeah. So, for example, can we think of an animal that has a shell? So, for example, some seafood like lobsters, right? Lobsters have shells.
On the beach.
Turtles have shells, yeah. And at the beach, there you go. Yeah. Do you guys like to collect shells? Do you like little shells?
I have
Oh
a lot.
yeah.
And some people like to collect them. Yes, but make sure you wash them because they can smell terrible if you don't wash them. Okay, everybody. So
What is the gas station?
you like this?
I was thinking about Shell gas station too.
That's true. Well, but the picture of the Shell gas station is a shell. It's a picture of a shell. Yeah. Okay, now everybody, let's say these words again. Let's say them one more time. So ready? Let's say the A category and the B category. So everybody repeat after me. Heel, heel.
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 Okay, number 2, I'll, ill.
I'll
L.
Good. Number 3, wheel, wheel.
will.
Okay, number 4, you'll, your.
Your.
And then finally, number 5, she'll, shell.
Shell.
Okay, excellent. Now, guys, you need a piece of paper because now we're going to do a little listening activity. Now, remember, with some of these examples, they might sound the same. So you have to understand the sentence. For example, let's go back to number 1 for just a moment. So in the first example, heel, right, with that little apostrophe, what does heel, 1A, what does that mean?
He will.
He will. Okay. What about 1B? What does that mean?
He'll
We-
care. Care.
Recover.
Kind of like care, yeah.
Yeah, recover.
Yeah, so for example, if we get a cut, if we cut our finger, we put maybe a Band-Aid to help it heal, to help it get better, right?
Get
Okay. Yeah, okay. So guys, that's the idea. The idea is listening can be difficult in English because sometimes we hear words that sound the same but have different meanings. And then sometimes we hear words where we don't know exactly which word we are saying. Are we saying, like for example, to be, or are we to A, or are we saying to be? So that's part of the problem when it comes to listening. Okay. All right. Now, everybody, again, we need a piece of paper for this activity. So I'm going to close the for just a moment. So we've been practicing these words. So we took about a minute or so to practice them. Okay. All right, so now let's talk about our instructions. All right, so everybody on your piece of paper right now, excuse me, put the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on your paper. Okay. All right, is everybody ready? Okay, so here's what we're going to do. So I'm going to read a sentence. Now, you're not going to see the sentence. I'm just going to read it. You're just going to hear or listen to the sentence. Now, what you're going to do is on your piece of paper, you're going to choose which word did I use. Did I use the word in the A column, or did I use a word from the B column? Okay. Now, we're not going to use microphones, so I'm going to mute everyone's microphones for this activity, and we're not going to use the chat box. Instead, you're just going to listen and put your answers on your paper. Okay, does everyone understand that? Yes, good. All right. So guys, again, no mics, no chat box. Now we're just going to listen. Okay. So I'm going to, again, okay, so everyone listen here. I'll put this up on the screen. I'm going to turn off the screen for just a moment. Okay, don't worry, I'll bring it back. Okay, so guys, get ready, and now we're going to listen. Give me just a second. Sorry, guys. Okay. All right, here we go. Okay, so here's number one. So again, just listen and put the answer on your paper. Okay, number one. The doctor says foot will heal soon. The doctor says the cut on my foot will heal soon. Number two. If you tell me the answer, I'll give you some money. If you tell me the answer, I'll give you some money. Number three. We'll finish the job faster if you help us. We'll finish the job faster if you help us. Number four. This is your problem, not mine. This is your problem, not mine. Okay, and finally, number five. My daughter found a shell at the beach. My daughter found a shell at the beach. Okay, so one more time. Number one, the doctor says the cut on my foot will heal soon. Number two, if you tell me the answer, I'll give you some money. Number three, we'll finish the job faster if you help us. Number four, this is your problem, not mine. And number five, my daughter found a shell at the beach. Okay. All right, everyone. So now we're going to check our answers. Now, first, we're just going to see the answers of A and B. Okay, so that's all we're going to see first. So we've listened to the sentences. Here are the answers. So number one was B. Number two was A. Number three was A. Number four is B. And the last one, number five, is
B.
B. Okay. All right. Now, hopefully we did well with that activity. What I'd like to do is I'm going to go ahead and bring up the sentences on the screen. So that way you can see what I was reading. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is highlight for just a moment where the words are in the sentence. So, for example, number one, there's heal. Okay. Number two, there's I'll. Okay. Number three is wheel. There it is. Number four, there's your. Okay. And then finally, number five, there is shell. Okay. All right. So how did we do on this activity? Did we do pretty well?
Yeah.
Did okay?
Yeah. Yes.
Well, but I want to show you. So again, I wanted to show you here, again, thinking about what we talked about last week. how, again, how sometimes listening in English can be confusing because we have lots of words that sound similar, right? Sound similar. And sometimes we have words that sound the same. And then we also have words that look similar, but are pronounced very differently, right? So what I would like to do to kind of finish here this activity. So everybody, let's keep that piece of paper for just a moment. Now, let's try, for example, let's try number 2. Let's try number 2. Okay, now everybody, what I would like for you to do right now on your paper, can you make a sentence using the word in number 2? Now, don't say anything, don't speak, but on your piece of paper, can you make a sentence using the word that you see on the screen? Okay, now just take a moment on your piece of paper, make a sentence with that. And when you're ready, put your example in the chat box. Okay, all right, so most of us have responded, but again, let's go back to the word itself. So the word ill, again, who can remember? What does ill mean? Who can tell us? Yeah, so as we said, the word ill means sick. Yes, so I think some of you might have been confused. There you go, Singly. So the idea is, I think we were confusing it with I'll. Yeah, so notice there's no punctuation there. It's ILL. Okay? All right, now finally, real quickly, let's look at number 3. Now for number 3, can somebody just tell me what does number 3 mean? What's the meaning for number 3?
It's the circle in the car.
Tire.
Like kind of like tire, yeah.
Tire
So
for
so for example, we find them on cars, yeah.
Yeah.
So car tire or yeah.
Bicycle.
Someone mentioned
Piece of car, yeah.
or a bicycle, yeah. Okay, there you go, Gisela. Now you got it. So we mentioned like a steering wheel in a car, yeah. Yeah. Okay, good. All right. Okay, guys. So we didn't have time to do all of them, but I just wanted to kind of emphasize again how confusing English can be. We have lots of words that sound the same. We have lots of words that look the same. We have lots of words that can often sound similar to each other. So again, that can be a challenge for students. Okay, guys, I'm going to return to the presentation. So, okay, well, guys, with the time that we have left, I'd like to kind of do just a couple of activities, kind of reviewing what we discussed last week with the future real conditional. So let me bring this up here on the screen. And I'd like to do just a couple of activities because you're going to be doing some more activities at home, practicing with the that real conditional, right? So again, we're not going to review the idea here this morning, but remember the future real conditional is when we use those if statements. So the if statement has the present tense, and if you remember the will part of the sentence, that's the part that's going to be the result. So as we mentioned last week, if we start the sentence with the word if, we usually use a comma, or we can always switch the sentence. So if you look down there at the bottom of the sentence of the screen, it says, if Dad needs the car, I'll take the bus. Or I'll take the bus if Dad needs the car. So again, remember we mentioned that those things can be switched. Okay, now here's what I would like for us to do for the kind of remaining time that we have here in class. Okay. All right, now everybody, we're going to use our paper again. So if everybody has their paper ready, what I would like to do is right there, just at your computer or at your phone, take your piece of paper, and again, we have 5 sentences here. Now, what I want you to do is to help me in figuring out how to write the word that we see in the blank. Now, I'm going to zoom in just a little bit. So let's do number 1 as kind of our example, okay? So, for example, it says, if he works overtime today, he, and then I see the word earn after the box, more money. Now, guys, what I want to know is, what should I put in the box? So who thinks they can help me with number 1?
He'll.
Okay, well, let's see. Let's just use he will, and let's see if that'll be correct. Yeah, so he will earn. Now I'm curious. I don't know if Burlington English will let us do it, but let's see if we can use the apostrophe S. I'm sorry, the apostrophe LL. Let's say it again. Oh yeah, it recognized
No,
it. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, congratulations. Okay, so guys, I'm going to give you just about 1 or 2 minutes. Just real quickly, look at the screen. Just use your paper. Okay, so again, we'll use our paper for this activity. Just real quickly, tell me what you think the answer is, and then we'll check them together. Okay, so I'm going to clear the answer again for number 1. We've already done that one. Okay, so you should be able to see 2, 3, 4, and 5. So take just a couple of minutes, see if you can complete the sentence. Okay, and again, just use your paper. Okay, I hope everyone has had a chance to finish. All right, so once again, we already did number 1. So if he works overtime today, he will earn more money. All right, let's see. Emmy, would you like to try number 2 for us?
If she does more of her homework, her grade will improve.
Okay, Emmy, here we go. Let's see if you're correct. You are correct. Congratulations. So if she does. All right. Let's see. Fatiha, would you like to try number 3?
The third person
Fatiha, are you there?
will. The person.
Sorry, I thought microphone is on.
That's okay. So try number 3 for us.
Okay, the salesperson will give us a discount if we pay cash for the car.
Okay, everybody, let's see if she is correct. Congratulations. The salesperson will give. All right, very good. All right. Let's see. Luana, you want to try number 4? Hello, Luana. Are you there? Okay, maybe she can't hear us at the moment. All right, Lily, I notice your microphone's on. Do you want to try it?
Okay. You will be called if you didn't take a call.
Number 4. Number 4.
Number 4.
Yeah.
He will go out with his friends later if he will feel better.
Okay, so she says if he'll feel better. Okay, let's see if you're correct. Oh no.
No.
We already have will.
Sorry.
before.
Yeah, because you have
Yeah.
will before, right?
Yeah,
But
we
sometimes
already
you
have
can
it.
use it sometimes you can use it before and after, no?
Well, remember, Lily, the situation is it depends on what the sentence is saying. So I
Okay,
think
yes,
here's the thing. The most important word that's going to help you is the word I've circled, if. When we use an if statement, we don't normally use will in both parts of the sentence. So in this case, you could use the word will, 2 times, 3 times. But in this case, because we use the word if, we only need to use it once. So in this case, yeah, we already see it there. Okay.
Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. All right, Luana, you want to try number 5 now?
Yes. I
Okay,
was
give it a
not
shot.
getting for turned it on. Sorry. So you will be called if you will not take a cold.
Okay, now let's see. I think we already have a will word in the sentence, though, don't we?
Yeah, that's why I'm confused. If you can
I think the key is how do I make take negative?
You do
Didn't.
not take.
There you go. I heard somebody
Do
say it.
not take.
yeah.
If you don't take a code. Yeah, so
We
don't
can say
forget,
do not.
you
Yeah.
could, but remember what we said last week. English speakers are more comfortable using contractions. So in this case, don't is probably a little more common. Yeah.
Can please, Mr. John, can we
Yes.
say if you didn't take, can we use the past?
Now that would change the meaning of the sentence. So remember, these are what we call the future real conditional. Now, if I changed it to if you didn't, then it becomes the meaning becomes different. See, in this case, in these situations, they have not happened. They have not happened yet. So what we're saying is, if this thing happens, then this thing happens, right? Or if this thing doesn't happen, then something will happen. So if I use didn't, then I would be talking about something else. Yeah. So in this case, I would have to change all of the sentence. Okay. Yeah. So good question. Okay. All right, guys, let's see. I think we've got just a few more minutes to try one more activity. Now, again, let me explain real quickly about your homework for this next week. Because in the next week, I'm going to have you guys practice making some sentences. So what I would like to do real quickly is I'm going to pull up here this next practice. And what we're going to do is kind of demonstrate what your homework is going to be. So in this case, if you want to use your paper, that's fine. But we're going to kind of work a little bit together here. And so the idea is, for example, if you look over on the left side of the page, okay? So, for example, if you notice in part A, we've got some words, some phrases. For example, number 1 says the store is open. Number 2, we'll go to the concert. Number 3, you'll be hot. Number 4, he'll exercise more. And then number 5, it rains. Okay? Now, in this exercise, what you'll do, if we look here at the bottom, is we're going to try to match part A and part B together. Okay, now we're not going to do all of them. We're just going to do a couple as an example. But for example, part B says the tickets cost less than $50. I'll buy milk. We won't go to the beach. You wear that sweater. And then finally, he joins a gym. Now, here's what we're going to do. Let's go back up for just a moment. Let's look at number 1. Number 1 says the store is open. Okay. Now, I'm going to go down now to part B. The store is open. So, go ahead.
Sorry.
I think we were excited there, right? Okay. Yeah. So, for example, I'll buy milk. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Now, so what we want to do is just kind of do this together. Is we want to be able to put the sentence together. So, for example, if
the store is open.
Okay. Now, should I put a comma here?
Yes.
Okay.
I will buy milk.
Don't forget to say I'll.
I'll buy milk.
Be careful, not ill. I'll buy.
I'll.
Yeah, we don't want to be sick when we buy. Okay. Yeah. So the idea here in this activity is what we're doing is we're just putting the sentences together. Now, for your homework, what I'm going to do is give you only part of the sentence, and then you will finish the sentence, and you can finish it with any answer that makes sense. So, for example, here, we're just matching the two ideas together, and let's see how we did on that first one. All right, correct. So again, for homework, what you'll do is you'll have part of the sentence, but then you'll have to finish it with your own answer. Okay, so let's try one more just as kind of an example. So number 2 says, we'll go to the concert. So that's number 2. And then look at part B. Which one do you think goes together with the concert?
One,
Maybe the first one?
the ticket costs less than $15.
50. Can anybody go to a concert for less than $50? I don't know. Okay, so let's try it. Okay, so what should I say? Should I say if we'll go to the concert? Do I put the if part with we'll?
If the tickets cost less than $50.
Okay, so we know the if part goes with the tickets. Can I start the sentence though? Can I say we'll go to the concert?
We will go.
So what should I say?
To the concert, yeah.
We'll go to the concert.
If the ticket
ticket
costs
costs
less than
less
$50.
$15.
Let's try it.
If the ticket
Cost less than $50. That would be a pretty cheap concert. Well, let's see. Okay. We check the first one, and there is the second one. All right, congratulations. So again, so what you're going to see for your homework is sometimes I will give you the if part of the sentence, and sometimes I will give you the will part of the sentence. And what you have to do is to finish that sentence. But again, in this, the practice that we're doing here, we can choose the answer. But for homework, you can actually create your own answer. So that's the idea. The idea is you'll be creating your own response for the next time. Okay. All right. So I think we have time. Let's do one more before we finish here this morning. You'll be hot. Okay. So which one should we say? Which one
You
for
wear
B?
that sweater.
If I
If
wear,
you wear that sweater.
yeah, but it's nice now, right? This is the perfect sweater weather. All right. Yeah. So maybe you're wearing a sweater today.
You'll be hot if you wear that sweater.
All right. Well, let's see. Let's see if we're correct. Okay. So we got number 1, we got number 2, and we got number 3. All right. Excellent. Okay. Well, I think we've got the basic idea of what we're going to be doing for this activity. Okay. Great. All right. I'm going to leave this screen now and return to our presentation. So, guys, thanks for participating with that. All right. Well, guys, let's go ahead and talk about what the homework activity is. So once again, when we're finished here this morning, I'm going to send you this activity. It probably will take you 20 minutes, 15 or 20 minutes. And the idea is you get to finish some sentences in this activity. So you'll get to create your own answers. And you'll see this appear in your email here very soon after we're finished today. Okay. All right, guys. Now I want to remind everyone. So I didn't mention this last week, but I'm going to tell you now. So next week is fall break. So again, I don't know if your kids are having fall break or not, but we will not have class next week. I have meetings I have to go to, and I have to register some new students. So again, we'll take a 1-week break, and then classes will return on Tuesday, October 20th. Okay. So guys, I hope you have a chance to at least enjoy the nice weather. Hopefully the trees will keep turning, the colors will keep changing. So that way next week you guys can get a chance to see those. But just remember, next week we will not have class. So I will send you the homework assignment, and I'll also send you a reminder that we will not have class next week. Okay?